Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the profession...
Hmm.
911 in progress.
How are investigations going? Okay. So we're doing pretty well on stuff. Someone called in to report that she's caught a thief red-handed. I've had my underwear stolen several times. I leave it to dry in the air before or after I do my laundry. I saw a teenage boy on a bicycle grab favorite panties off the clothesline. The boy is riding his bike around the neighborhood right now. Foxman, take Gilbert out there and beat a child.
910C in progress.
Addict ran into a diner, threatened everyone with a pistol, and demanded all the cash in the register and the wallets from the visitors. He fired 2 shots into the ceiling. Okay.
In progress.
A young and hysterical teacher reported that a student brought a bomb to school. The boy was always too serious for a normal child. I always suspected something bad was going to happen. Ahmed came to class and I heard something ticking in his backpack. That's not going to turn up. Kept a body of Bogus Sahak was found in the window of his souvenir shop. Rough. Case Mole Armstrong, Coleman, Cosma. Guess we'll sign case in there.
She's just a dancing queen. Fit for a king. Swing, sweet ginger, swing, sweet ginger green.
910A in progress. 611 in progress.
Spencer Nentles began to molest one of his students in the classroom. She gave him several hard slaps, trying to back him off. Instead, the man became furious and started tearing off the girl's clothes. Okay. School's fire. Some students found a strange bundle. It contained some mechanism connected to wires and pipes. Okay, this sounds more likely.
We've got a situation
In the police, the suspect grabs a woman and points his gun at the officers. Husband suddenly throws the woman off and then rushes towards the service door.
Nine testing complete.
Nice and easy. Alright, we're gonna send doubles, I think. Really? That's all you want? What if I send SWAT with you? No, huh? Okay, we got time. Let's do this.
810 in progress. 414 in progress.
John Whitman, speaking in a slow voice, said that 10 men tried to grab through his window and all they tried. But they all tried to do it at once and got themselves stuck. It's damn funny and a little scary to look at, like a strange cartoon. Huh. Weird one. This one's, I think, a little more likely. Let's do this. Hopefully, Foxman can do it. Alright. We're gonna get people. When he spots the police, Mr. Nettles releases the girl and begins to move back towards the locker room, saying, "Look, we were just fooling around." Fuck him up. Coach rushes towards his bag and pulls out a gun. Just go away, you got the wrong idea about this. Taser. Ooh.
212 in progress.
Rough beats.
1010 414
We might be too far behind here. Yeah, I think we're... Honestly, this might be the only time I do this. I think we might be too far behind. We're just gonna miss way too many people on this one, I think. And losing 2 there is actually pretty bad with what's happening currently. Don't want to do this, but I think it's kind of what has to happen. Alright.
911 in progress. Nine testing in progress. Ten A in progress.
Unfortunately, we know that one's fake, which is not, I suspected it. I really just need to trust my gut on the fake things and not just deploy to deploy.
911.
I wonder if in the second game they'll have a thing where you can, like, sort things as, like, to ignore. So they aren't just shitting up the side of your screen.
11 in progress. Got a situation here. Nine testing complete.
This one I actually didn't get to see.
progress. 1010A, 414 in progress. Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here. It's 11 complete.
They say like 10 people, so I'm a little off on that. At the toy store, a baby started to act up, demanding a toy train. The mother first began to scream and started whipping the boy with all of her strength. Claire called the police, saying the woman was drunk or stoned, barely aware of what's going on, afraid she'll maim the poor child.
1010A.
An unhappy customer carrying a baseball bat entered the store room and started smashing up the cars on display. I bought a brand new car here, and after a month it wouldn't start, and people wouldn't do anything. The manager tried to intervene and calm the man down. He got a crack on his head for his trouble. The situation is heating up. Well, we had another person die as a result of the bomb threat. It's unfortunate. I don't have any labor market either. Can lose star rating? I don't know what you mean by star rating. If you meant the medal, there was just the medal. That's all. Unhappy customer carrying the baseball bat. Yeah, okay, so we did this one. People gotta get back, though, before I can deploy.
1111 in progress.
Okay. Received anonymous tip. Some cocaine is being stored in the back of a coffee shop. It's probably going to be sugar.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a
The woman continues to thrash the boy. He seems to have lost consciousness.
414 complete.
Oh, you mean the, sorry, the professionalism rating. Yes. So if you fail, you lose 10. At least 10. A woman had taken a triple dose of medication and sat all evening staring at a blank white wall. 10 people stuck in a window wasn't the only cartoon he saw.
In progress.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is fake.
1111.
It wasn't. Surprising. Okay. Oh well. Speaking with a lifeless voice claimed that someone killed her husband and that nobody cares, or just buried him in the ground. Can you tell me why nobody cares? This is murder. Isn't this your job? Weird. More serious than we thought. Alright, well. Send in the clowns.
11A in progress.
You guys waiting to get into the nightclub refused to share a place in line with each other and started a fight. Security has decided not to interfere. I mean, if they ain't in the club, I guess.
In progress. 410
R&R's husband died of cancer, which he'd been suffering with the past 4 years. During the funeral, the woman crumbled under a mountain of sorrow and fell into shock. She's unable to account for her actions. Yep.
212 Officer on scene.
One of the participants in the fight grabbed a bottle of beer and smashed it against the wall. He's wielding the sprinters like a knife. His opponent grabs his hand and places another at his throat, shouting something. So in this particular instance, you deal with the guy with the bottle. He has the actual weapon, and he's partially incapacitated since he's grabbed his wrist. He strikes a police officer and tries to escape. Get the taser.
311A complete.
I ain't running. Why are you making me run? Zap your dumbass.
In progress.
Well, can't help them out. Linda Hill reports a neighbor, Tamara Postino, is having a fight with her husband during dinner, and she just grabbed a kitchen knife and stuck it in his neck. She absolutely lost it. She turned on the gas and is going to light a fire and blow up the whole apartment with the children inside. She won't listen to me. Well, that's unfortunate.
More testing complete.
Oh, with a deadly weapon. 6 young men were playing kickball and accidentally smashed a shop window. Shop owner came out to deal with the situation, but the men beat him up and then just kept on playing kickball. Eyewitness said one player had a gun.
In progress.
Immigrants are drinking alcohol on the park bench and singing loudly in Bulgarian. Any passersby who comment or show the middle finger. Whatever. What? Oh, only 2 people? Sure. New frames. Open investigation. Mrs. Sahak, the victim's wife. In recent years, we've been struggling to keep the shop open. The location isn't very good. There's not a lot of foot traffic, so not many casual shoppers. We depend a lot on our regulars. The summer is always a loss, but we make up for it during the holiday season, and we always have the best Halloween costumes in town. Paul Costa loved the holiday. An hour before the estimated time of Mr. Sahak's death, the camera across the street caught only a few people. 2 twin girls, a tall man in a gray coat, and a bearded homeless man searching through garbage cans. Did we not get clues? Mr. Sahak died from a gunshot wound to the chest. The beheading was all post-mortem. Head was cut off slowly and with some difficulty. The whole shop floor is covered with blood, and his neck is a bloody mess. Okay. Something like that. An investigation. Vehicles uses horse. Apparently uses beat debtors with a large whip and finishes his victims with a shank. Wore cowboy boots and spurs. Jake Pratchett, a widower, lost a large sum of money the man has been able to pay. He lives in the suburbs. Something like that. Did you know this train don't carry no gamblers? Just thought you should know.
10 complete.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Yeah, this is gonna be the last one. I know gamblers, this train. This train don't carry no gamblers. No criminals. Night scram.
Four 12.
Damn. They're all pretty tired, it looks like. Animal rights advocate people wearing furs are latent serial killers. Taxi driver foils bank robbers. Worker pinned under blade in sawmill accident. Take my car to the shop? No. Yes, but come tomorrow, you drunk ass. Both Grant and Flowers. Grant's our ace sharpshooter. Morris Brown frequently visits the intensive care unit since his daughter had an accident 2 days ago, but this time, after talking with the doctor, Morris drew a pistol and took several attendants hostage. I won't let anyone go until you stupid lazy pigs start doing something about my daughter. Massive fight. During a scheduled rally at the mayor's office, animal rights advocates were pelted by 5 decapitated chickens, presumably thrown by slaughterhouse employees, in counter-protest. A massive fight, including armed men. Several people are already wounded. Okay. As the police went to report 3 ghouls, he came in and painted the walls of my house covered in all in graffiti. Spent a week on that. They destroyed a priceless work of art. Okay, how much time do we got here? Hostage. Okay. I am relatively okay to deploy then. Vandalism, we'll keep it low. Massive fight, we're going to want to deploy a lot more heavily, I think. So we're going to try to wait. This is painted by municipal workers who were only doing their jobs. Yep.
1111 in progress.
Drug sales in Desire Park. See several complaints of a man in the park. A whole stream of people are going past. They shake his hand twice and then quickly move on. Witnesses believe he's selling drugs. It's probably like the mayor or something stupid.
215 in progress.
New Boutique has advertised a sale and hundreds of people are showing up to the event. When the doors opened, the store's visitors rushed in and caused a stampede. A fight broke out, and many customers took advantage of the turmoil, fleeing the store without paying for their goods. We're hoping to get back from deployment. Huge crowd of people are beating each other with bats, batons, and dead chickens. I mean, you tear gas. Shoot the dead chicken lying on the ground.
311. 1010A in progress.
Old man strapped with dynamite, walked into the insurance company's office. He's just going to blow himself up unless the company immediately pays him everything I owe him. Okay. So these are both rough. I think we just play the paddy wagon to this one. Okay, well, Darnell got shot. Cool. Well, fortunately we didn't have enough time for the paddy wagon, so we're just gonna do this, I guess. Hope for the best. I dismissed one of the assistants who helped me with the hives at my apiary, and in retaliation he took all my hives to a landfill and stole all my beekeeping suits and other equipment. I need 3 strong men who can pick up the hives from the landfill and who aren't afraid of a few bee stings. I'll give you your men a year's supply of honey. It's fucked.
913 in progress.
However, a year's supply of honey. In a plea deal, a jewelry store robber confessed that some stolen goods are being stored in a warehouse at the port. They are there now, along with the accomplices, one of who are armed, presumably dangerous. Okay.
Complete. 1010A.
Found explosives. My thing is, like, if we ever have to send SWAT on something, or someone dies on it, then it's probably not worth attempting to take it.
410B in progress.
Okay, well, I suspect we're gonna have everybody die here. While she was jogging in the park, the chief of the Freeburg Philanthropies Charity Fund was shot by a young man in a ski mask. 2 witnesses tried to detain the attacker, but he opened fire and hid in a public toilet. Not so much that, it's somebody shaking hands twice and a bunch of people are, like, it sounds like somebody, you know, famous, like, hey, I know you, or something like that. And that's the thing, is you have to think like that with this game, because we're getting to the point where I can't deploy to everything. I actually have to try and guess which ones are real. The chief of the Freeburg Philanthropy, yeah, okay. You opened fire and hid in the public toilet, okay. So before I deploy to this, I'm almost positive they're going to need backup, so I'm going to have to wait on that. Seeming stolen property. Police pull up to the warehouse. There's sounds of a cheerful talk and laughter. The policeman accidentally brushes up against a trash can and rolls with the clatter. Who's there? Give him the bardic knock. The bolt on the door flips and the door swings open slowly. A man with a gun peeks out. What's up, Citadel? Got that jewelry. Get paid. Alright, let's do this. 1010A, 1010A. 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 1010A Actually, 22 is still relatively early. We'll do this. Passerby noticed a taxi brake abruptly on a curb and saw a fight going on inside the cab. The guy in the back broke through the partition. He was shouting something and holding a knife at the driver's throat. Okay. YouTube, I guess? Sure. So I think we'll have one more deployment before the end of the night, be my guess.
Forecasting complete.
Any new frames? Open investigation. He marks with yellow tape. Yeah, yellow tape. So this is pointless. That there. This goes back to Stuart Hayes, car wash owner.
412.
Okay, so it's Foos. If we don't have it. Okay. So we've waited. We're not going to get any additional stuff, so we can send a bunch of people to get this done. Let's do this, and let's do this. Actually, we'll do this. So if we miss here, then we can always tell him to go in the next day. Was Dean Dandy? Yeah, it was... A couple of the groups had to cancel. And it's not Beginner's Night. Beginner's Night is next week. So I didn't have to end up doing anything, but I usually work on stuff on the side if I'm not needed to run anything. Okay, so I need to have Boost come in tomorrow.
Well, Jack, who's your favorite right-hand man?
Francis Kendrick. But go on.
A very good lawyer. Very good. Invented a way for you to keep your job. Though invented is hardly the word. He has a whole scheme. A big plan. I just had him on the phone. He's so full of ideas I could hardly get off. Believe me, Jack, this guy knows his stuff.
Wow, I do not know what to say, Martin. That's wonderful news. Can I meet him?
Yes, of course. He's not a local. Right now he's in court on the other end of the country, but he'll be with us in 8 or 10 days. When he gets to Freeburg, we'll sit down, the three of us, and we'll work through the details.
Sounds great. And now you want something from me?
Not at all. Yes. No. Well, I mean, part of his plan is a big public campaign for your support. Talk to the press, lots of interviews, maybe even a few street demonstrations. And it would be nice if your family was there with you. I know you're not talking with your wife, but maybe your children could...
No. Listen. My oldest son and his fiancée have arranged some sort of a trip around the world. A big 7-month tour. His girl's from a wealthy family, so they're taking him with them, along with my younger kids and a few of their friends. They're out there roaming the world, and I'm glad they're away from, well, you know, all of this. They don't even know that I'm getting fired, and I'd like it to stay that way.
Okay, Jack, I thought you might say that. No problem. Oh, it's been a rough day. I think I'll go home and sleep it off.
Martin, wait. Look, you mentioned that you know Laura and me aren't talking, and, well, you think you could help find her?
Jack, I understand that's been hard on you, but I think we should focus on your retirement problem. We finish this, then we'll figure something out, okay? One thing at a time.
I hear what you're saying, Martin, but... Jack Boyd.
Well, Jack, you ready to listen to me ramble for an hour or two? I've had a very busy day.
Almost ready. Bear with me 1 second. Yes, Martin, you're right. One thing at a time. Thanks again. Go home and get some rest. We need your strength. Now I'm ready.
Slice Pizzeria feeds homeless. Teachers at University of Freiburg downgrade immigrant studies. Military veteran Norris of Freiburg is a war zone. Second time in a row, Shiro didn't come into work. Nick Spankley didn't either. Yeah, you can go out. Snitch got killed. Alright, let's deploy. Actually, we can hold off on this until the end of the night. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, requests. We need more officers. Probably raise. I don't know if I've ever tried to get 3. Mass riot. Prison air conditioning system stopped working and the problem may not be sorted for a few days. Hearing this, the prisoners rioted, beat up the guards, and took out through the cell block. They've taken several civilians hostage and are threatening to kill them unless the prisoners start getting treated like people. Warden says the situation must be sorted out as quickly as possible or the National Guard will have to be called in. This is... Yeah, this is SWAT. This is kind of everybody on board, to be honest. Okay, Fortunately, we have to pull Mole off, I think. Destroyed, I'm a fan of broad views, and I came to terms with the existence of sodomites a long time ago, especially when they keep a low profile, but now that these perverts start shoving their rotting little Jesus Christ, politic noses in our affairs. Drugs are freely being stored in the Unicorns of Arcadia Gay Club right there in the public toilets to beg of you. Send your men to recover and clean up the filth from the city as the Lord cleansed Sodom and Gomorrah. Fucking hell. These fucking gays. Nice. Why is he like this? I don't know. Religious people in the 80s, I guess. Ferguson said a couple of guys have converted the house next door into storehouse for stolen goods. They're robbing pharmacies and selling the drugs. The young cashier went out for a smoke into a suspicious black man sneaking around the car near the road. The devil was crawling on the pavement around the car. Looked really suspicious, like a gangster. Carl Austin heard a man breaking into her neighbor's apartment and started beating the woman who lives there. She screamed. The man kept demanding something and I couldn't hear the details. Sure. Need to wait for the deploy to finish. Okay. I suspect that this isn't real. I think we're gonna do this also. Actually, no. We want to have different people heading over there to get... Suspicious looking man was the owner of the car. He was just looking for his keys. Yep.
Looks like we have a situation here.
Door of the apartment is broken, but the police still knock loudly and announce themselves. A brief noise comes from inside, and then all is quiet. The cops enter. Sitting in the corner is a sobbing, battered woman with no one else around. The apartment has no electricity. Yeah, you search. Talk girl continues to cry, but points a trembling hand towards the bed in the far corner. Fight on the playground. Two young mothers had a falling out over something. They started to fight, scratching and pulling each other's hair. Unscramble these crazy chickens. Scaring my son. Okay.
We've got a situation here.
All the windows in the house are lit up and there's loud music playing. There's a guy with a bottle of beer sitting on the sofa. There's a gun on the nearby table, along with a handful of multicolored pills. A man with shotguns jump in from the next room and open fire. Pharmaceuticals. Mafia. Like, that dude wants 4 damn people to head over there. So dumb. Do-do-do. 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 Man who declined to give his name said that Mary Hinojosa is keeping some stolen jewelry in a storage unit. She just went out there with something else she recently stole, but be careful, she's armed and dangerous. She doesn't like handcuffs. Alright, well, do this. Bright and Citizen found a strange box left by someone on her landing. It's just like in the movies. I think this is fake, but we'll go in on it. Prado should be coming back here, so. Donnie Husted was walking in the evening with a friend and noticed that someone or something was watching them. I only saw the silhouette, but it seemed like a monster. But we were so frightened we ran to the nearest farmhouse and called you right away. The animal got out. Oof. Well, Gilbert dead. But we did find the loot. However, with the police officer dying, probably shouldn't try to sell it. A couple were strolling through the park hand in hand, talking nicely between themselves, when up ran a young man in a leather jacket. Snatched the girl from the hands of her boyfriend and started yelling loudly at her, like it was some kind of argument. According to witness, the assailant could hardly stay on his feet, and it seemed like he was hiding some kind of weapon in his jacket. Okay. Okay, so we have people, so I think we can deploy for this. We're anticipating one more engagement, probably.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Okay. This is why we wait. Actually, I'm gonna just click these to clear it, and then we'll look at them in a sec. Okay, so you actually can get the white horse. Is it a revolver? He uses his house without a gun, but he rarely ever uses it. Okay, he just has a gun, so it could be a revolver, it could not. Okay, yeah, so we're assuming revolver on all these. No new frames found. Alright. Wise Dragon Restaurant. Received a complaint about noise coming from the restaurant. It's the fifth day of a damn wedding, and they're still at it, shouting, swearing, some foreign music with wilted flowers on a windowsill, and the whole symphony of vulgarity, complained a retired English teacher. The window of her apartment is directly overlooks the restaurant. Okay.
311A complete.
Scarecrow in the field. Sounds about right. Okay. This is awkward. It's very awkward. 15. That's like a few seconds. I don't think they're gonna return in time. Might just have to hold off. And they want a third. Damn. Oh! We managed to get people. I guess we'll... High chance of success. Paddy Wagon becomes a casualty. Officer down! I need an ambulance. I'll call you a hearse. This one's for Cody. Big declare dead. Big declare dead also. Controversial artist Sigmund Hammerling commits suicide. 59% of Freiburg parents used physical discipline. 14th century wine barrel found in city dump. Who knows about the police station? Oh, maybe the snitches so you know the status of the police station. Nope, considering how many drunk-ass people there are. No. It's just gonna be a rough day. Jack, one of my partners with whom I had several very large contracts at the request of his wife, wishes to open a confectionery factory in Freeburg. The problem is that the local stores stock products from the Clementine Burrell's factory, and there's no room for competition in the market. Not that I care about selling fucking candy, but I must demonstrate that I'm a reliable business ally. Today, a couple of my best men will burn the Clementine factory to the ground, and nobody's going to get in their way, right? Nice. Okay, we get one more police officer. Alright, what's our personnel look like? Equal amounts. Shift A is a little weaker, I think. Ugh. Alright. We'll stick with that and hope the labor market gets better. Okay, get a raise. Okay.
More testing in progress.
An armed assailant entered the Jesus Got You Covered insurance offices and opened fire on everyone inside. One of the secretaries grabbed the phone, hid in a closet, and dialed the police. According to her, the man has often come to the office to argue with his agent about his payments, but now, it seems, he's finally lost his mind. It's gonna be a rough shift. I mean, a paddy wagon wouldn't really be effective on a massacre. Because they're saying a single suspect. What's the paddy wagon gonna do? You take a paddy wagon when you need to transport a large amount of prisoners, basically. Or process a large amount of people. Photo studio employee Clark Mitchell called the police about a customer who seems to be involved in child molestation. The man brought in some photos for development, all normal stuff, family photos from the holidays, but at the end of the reel, the studio found a photo of a naked elderly man next to a girl no older than 13. Okay. Yep. Send him in.
More testing. 411 in progress.
Keep in mind I'm talking about, like, practicality of deployment, not what the mechanics are in the game. I have yet to look up any strict mechanics on the game. Suspect is at the photo studio, standing with his back to the door. He's telling the employee to hurry. Arrest. Yep. Erin Friedite is terrified that she just met a suicide case. Her face was so painted so sadly. It just brought me to tears, seeing the poor girl, her whole face, her whole being aching, stuck in one spot and unable to move on. You have to try to save her. Mime. It's a mime. Right? That's where that's going. Yeah. It's the first time she'd seen a professional mime. Stepping out for a smoke break, a convenience store owner saw a hooded figure around a corner ducking into a car. First, the store owner didn't think of anything of it, then the car alarm went off. Okay. Song and wolf. Can I tell you how dear my factory is to me? It took me decades to realize my late husband's dream to fill the city with candy, which any poor man can afford. I'm sure you don't have time for this. I hear you're a businessman, so I've come to you with a business proposal. Save my factory, and you will take a share in our daily profits. Well, that place is gonna explode, so I'm guessing any officers you send in there die.
210 in progress.
Back to a woman let out a squeaky scream, then a roar. Right in front of her, a crazy guy in an acid wash pants sat down to eat pieces of his own shit, while he gave the terrified woman a silly smile. So disgusting, my god, right in front of so many people and the children. It's just a prank, bro.
311A in progress.
Grave digger at the funeral site struck the grieving father with a shovel. He imagined that the man was giving him a nasty look, and a fight immediately broke out. Alright. Man had recently returned from a trip to Japan. He was just enjoying some of the extravagant sweets he brought back. Yeah.
311A complete.
Emilio Montes Madrano. Chief suspect in the murder of his wife and her parents. Was released on bail and was discussing his defense with his lawyers, preparing for the upcoming hearing. The meeting quickly descended into controversy, and they had been shouting at each other for a long time. Then suddenly, Mr. Madrano ran out of the conference room, only to return a few minutes later with a gun. Shot one of the lawyers in the head, and the others started cowering on the ground. The secretary called the police and heard 3 more shots while she was on the phone. Okay, so we're gonna need some people for this one. I don't think Song and Wolf are gonna be enough for that one. Group of visiting fans were singing an offensive song called Free Bird, capital of crap, and throwing corn cobs on the field. Our local fans aren't about to put up with that, and a fight is broken out. So we'll have to see what the deployment here goes, because if we need to do backup on that. Fortunately, we are not going to get the opportunity to do that, so we're just going to do this and hope it's good. Nope. Not allowed. Emilio Montes Madrano is standing in the conference hall armed with a gun. It's back to the door. Pushed him into the corner and he's holding him at gunpoint. 2 others are on the floor. One isn't moving, the second one is groaning and holding his stomach. Okay, his wife wouldn't be on the line because he killed his wife. Jeez. Oh, I should look at the investigation. Oh, we got a bunch of people available. Detectives. Which ones do we got the most? Details. Okay, we didn't get any new frames for this, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go detectives. Ugh. Oh shit. That was on the back of that thing, and I do not have that. Back in 1 sec. Sitting there trying to figure out which piece of material wrote my notes on. Okay, Case Coleman Cosma, and none of these guys are for this shift. Hunter Cosma. Okay, so what we need to do is I think we need to archive this one. Open the archive, reopen the case. Do it this way. And then have yeah, okay. In case is the lead on this one. Wait, how is Hunter on 2 different cases? That doesn't make any sense. So that's strange. Huh. And we have a multiplied case. Well, that's damn strange. So maybe there's a bug involving archiving cases? It's the only thing that I can think of. Okay, well... regardless. Okay, so we already looked at that one. Details. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Struggling to keep this location isn't very good. I said Halligan, okay. Medical examiner. Gunshot to the chest, beheading was all post-mortem. Fraser Rory, former electrician at the Scottish Theatre. He's been out of work since the theatre closed.
More testing in progress.
Another massacre, huh? Group of 10 students went into the woods to camp for the night. They set up tents, made a fire, drank some alcohol, and sang some songs. Around midnight, they were suddenly attacked by a large man with a bag over his head wearing a hatchet. Or wielding a hatchet. One girl managed to reach the road and she flagged down a passing car. Police earlier, the fate of the other students is unknown. So that's straight out of a horror movie, so probably fake, but... Stupid Wendy. Yeah, that's life out here. So more controversial actions here. Single suspect, you don't need to send in SWAT or anything. You do, however, send in potentially competent people. Send in SWAT. Grant and Vila.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant.
Okay, apparently there is somebody. Fortunately, we only had one other person.
Four test complete.
Tainted blue velvet party cookies can cause convulsions. Radio stations face additional attacks. City finds stray dogs more dangerous than sharks. I believe it. Okay, Mick Spankley, I think we're gonna have to fire. I am probably gonna have to fire Oshiro also. Fraser Rory turned out to be a member of the gang known as the Pungangsters. Could help you take down the gang if you begin as a informant. Okay. We don't have much yet. Last year we actively fought against unregistered business activities and gray companies who shamelessly use loopholes in the law. We tightened some rules, making it more difficult for fraudsters to rent business premises and import goods into the city. Of course, they immediately became outraged and threatened to form a protest under the windows of City Hall. We must teach these parasites to respect the law. Permission of use of force is granted if required. McNamara is acting illegally in the interest of his friends and major corporations, which are literally destroying our community's small businesses. Any of his initiatives are contrary to federal law, and the police end up using force. Then you'll be the one that takes the rep. Better cover your ass if things get ugly. Find someone who will confirm that he and a group of unidentified persons received money from the Mafia to sabotage the peaceful protests, brought weapons, started a fight, and began to throw stones at windows. Apparently the Mafia wants to expand it. Sure. 50% to your staff. Alright, police station. Where are you, McSpanky? Didn't come to work multiple times. Fight at Freeburg. School principal called in to report an altercation which occurred at the school cafeteria. You fat cow, where's your udder? Yelled Miguel Marquinhos at Emma Hadzik as she passed by his table with her lunch tray. Emma blushed and then lashed out at the offender. The teachers don't want to interfere. Miguel had it coming. Former director of the Scottish Theatre escaped from Diamond Dog Prison with the aid of an accomplice. Fellow gang member Keister Athol killed 2 prison guards during the escape. Hey, we need to get Shift A on some of these cases. Principal Escalante was walking in the park earlier and saw a strange man dressed in police uniform. He was going around yelling at people, showing them his gun and threatening everyone. Then he ran over to the dogs and rolled around in the grass. He's clearly not in his right mind, and he was scaring everyone. Frankly, I don't even think he was a real cop. Mission from God. Mr. Boyd, I have long turned a blind eye to the activities of the Women's Clinic, which in essence is an abortion clinic for sluts. Jesus. Happily, the management humbly recognized their sin and delivered to our church plenty of the nutrients necessary for the preparation of our divine powder. But recently, the hospital replaced its chief doctor, and he refuses to continue honoring the arrangements established by his pious predecessors. Fortunately, I was able to quickly find an alternate supplier, and our production was not affected. However, the upstart doctor needs to be taught a lesson in Christian humility. I'm sure if you have people who know how to cut out a man's pride with a scalpel and hold the anesthesia. Suppress the riot by force? Yes. Suppress everything by force.
Officer on scene. Looks like we
Seeing the
have a
police, the
situation.
man walks up close and salutes. The outfit is obviously from a costume shop, but the gun looks real enough.
Well, 311A complete. M10A in progress.
Listen. Listen, you just don't get it. It's for God. Don't you want to help God? Eddie's Burger is hosting an annual fry eating championship. Police presence is required. Required to be at that fry eating. Well, Forbes and Prado, I guess. After you've done beating protesters, you can have some fries, I guess. Well, is this the police? There's a bomb in the elementary school. The person who called in the threat had a high, clear voice. Then there was some interference in the background and the signal was lost. This sounds fake, but we will send some people. Don't you want to cut people into pieces for Jesus?
911 in progress.
Drug addict at the rehab center stole an expensive respirator and locked himself in the closet. The nurse tried to reason with him, and he just hugged the apparatus and insisted it was his property. When the hospital employees tried to help him up, grabbed a knife from his pocket and stabbed one in the shoulder. Okay. $42 to cut somebody apart without anesthesia. Okay, so they need to be there. They searched the school and no bomb was found. A schoolgirl by the name of Lily Austin had decided to disrupt school today in hopes of avoiding a test she hadn't studied for. Guard at the large toy store detained a boy who he suspected of theft. I'm sure he stuffed something down his pants, but I couldn't find anything. The little thief won't stop crying. I think that means you're under arrest. And not just because you didn't find anything. See an anonymous tip today. Later this evening, a shipment of heroin will arrive at the port. The cargo is well guarded. According to the source, drug runners won't be giving up without a fight. City prosecutors have reason to believe that you are seriously exceeded your judicial powers in today's progress. We're calling you for an official questioning. Boy didn't steal anything. The child's mother is severely scolded the guard and took her frightened son back home. Arizona reports that his bartender was attacked by a patron. The bartender refused to serve a customer because he looked too young and wouldn't show his ID, so the guy got mad, jumped over the counter, smashed a bottle of whiskey, and is now threatening to stab the bartender. Send who we got. So again, realistically, and the part of the young guy, or is the young guy with a piece of glass in his hand? Frightening bartender is in tears. Well. It's unfortunate. Are we gonna have everybody die on this deployment? If that happens, we might be resetting today. Its slogans recommending the prohibition of gambling in Freeburg. Gambling's a disease, or so they keep repeating. Meanwhile, the casino has hired an athletic group of young men to push back with the unruly crowd. Lives alone, so he wouldn't have there. Weapons. Okay, Snow White. That is red cowboy boots there. Where's cowboy boots and spurs? Okay, that does not have spurs on it. So yeah, Snow White would have to be red. Okay, so this isn't it. This isn't it. I don't think this is it, but that depends on what type of gun he has. Oh, he beats the okay, hold on. This makes more sense. Right? Opens the door, beats the shit out of him, breaks the window in order to escape. Sounds the... Oh, okay, never mind. Hear the sound of breaking glass before. Something like this? And then we just don't know if he has a revolver or not. Kind of where we're stuck at. This, maybe? See, this is where it gets super fucking awkward as to, like, is this him getting on the horse to go to where he needs to go, or is this him getting off the horse at the destination? Shit like that. It's him leaving. God damn it. This is what I mean. It's like... whipping. Yeah.
1111
Found that heron. No new page found. Okay. fuck? Okay, this one's really fucking weird. Next meeting of the twins will be my nest. It'll be a nice night. Multiply your capital in 5 easy steps. So I got that. So, like, he's in trouble with money. I got that. I got that he met someone at Eddie's Burgers. I got that he got in trouble with some people. He meets the twins. This is where I don't get, is there's no mention of the motel, and he's just there and out. Yeah, this is so weird. So he's not missing. He went and stored out a hotel. Never had any problems with laws in the past. Luca Bergman, well known in certain circles as a money lender. He always gets his money back no matter what. Okay. Alright, well... send them in, I guess. Holman. Shift B is gonna need some people now. Okay. NGO distributes free condoms in city center. Freeburg unemployment increased to 9%. Writer Ivan Baikov presents magnum opus. Yeah. No. Sure. Come tomorrow. Forget to prepare for the upcoming meeting with the prosecutors.
M10A in progress.
O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan the Black Lady. Well, third, some crazy man in a clown suit stopped the school bus. The driver pulled over and he threw a grenade inside. So, that's no negotiations. I forgot to get Coleman. And Armstrong's on the other day, too.
311A in progress.
Six drunks had too many and started fighting with each other. One of the men pulled out a bottle of liquor and smashed it on the pavement and stabbed his former companion with it. The police are on the line with retiree Georgina Miller, who is watching this unfold right outside of her front window. I've had enough of these drunk monkeys. They're always so loud, and my favorite television is about to begin. Okay.
Looks like we have a situation here.
Children are crying, but quietly sitting on the bus. Outside the bus, there's a man in a cloud suit giggling. Oh, right. Neither of the detectives are there.
911 in progress.
And accompanied by a hippie-like girl, dragged a rare yellow monkey out of its cage, hid it somewhere, and quickly left the zoo. No. Michael Song victim. My mother and I were about to leave when Father Hubert came up. He took me to his office and told me to read the Sermon on the Mount out loud. He bowed his head, sat down, and he put his arm around my shoulders, and then he ended the top button on my shirt. I didn't like it, but I didn't say anything. A little later, he pulled out his camera and began to take pictures while I read. Then he put the camera away and began unbuckling the belt on his pants. That's when I ran away. Michael and his choir have been rehearsing here for a long time. They recently sang in front of the congregation. Everyone applauded and praised Jesus. Afterward, Father Hubert came to talk to us. Said he wanted to pray with Michael. God gave him such an angelic voice. Father Hubert said he would drive Michael home, and I told Michael he could go along with the Holy Father. The fuck, man? Boy's body shows no traces of sexual violence. Found several Polaroids of boys from the choir in Aaron Huber's office. Some of the shots are partially or completely naked children. Had to leave in the middle of Michael's performance. There's a ton of work at the office. I won't leave my son at church for another second. No more choir from Michael. I'd rather sing in a rock band. Some employee noticed a woman who resembles the famous swindler Lee Kuan Yew, or Yu. This picture has been seen on TV many times. And a clown suit entered a bank, presented the cashier with a check for $250 billion and demanded they cash it. He threatened the bank would face serious consequences if they couldn't pay out the entire amount in cash, according to the head of the branch. So this is in 1986 or whatever the fuck, by the way. So, yeah, this type of money doesn't exist for any type of real private individual. Robbery, Fortune Bank. 5 armed robbers broke into the bank and demanded access to the safety deposit boxes. The manager agreed after they shot one of the customers in the leg. During the turmoil, the security guard and 5 associates were able to escape and call the police. There's still over a dozen hostages inside. Okay. Switches individual. The place mostly empty. A woman wearing sunglasses picks up an orange. Woman throws an orange at the cops, overturns some box, and runs for the back door. Hide a banana in your pocket. Throw the orange back at her. Just beat her in the back of the head.
1210.
Go banana! Okay. So we wanted to wait long enough that if they need reinforcements, we'll be able to deploy them. Man in the clown suit with a famous performance artist is Sigmund Hammerling. Apparently Jack is supposed to warn the public that the financial system is on the verge of collapse. Mr. Boyd, my vehicle transport company is regularly being attacked by bikers. They lie in wait for a loan truck out in the country, then blow the tires and steal the cargo. They put the last driver in a coma. Found out these bikers hang around Kevin's Throat Bar after dark. I want you guys to storm in there and show them the highway to hell. And don't forget to torch their bikes, right? I'm actually not averse to this, but I need to see what happens with this situation first.
412A in progress.
Okay. Solid. Insurance company's office are home to a fresh scandal. One of the clients is accusing them of inflating her insurance premium after her husband's death at a car crash. The woman was shaking her fist as she delivered a punishing speech. Then grabbed one of the agents by the tie and bounced his head off the table. Okay. That is a lot of people he wants deployed for that.
1011 in progress.
Lee Sanchez told the police that she accidentally discovered some shocking entries in her husband Victor's private journal. He's planning to enter the train station and break open a large capacity storage tank filled with mercury. According to Betty, Victor has been himself since her son died and serving in the army. I don't know this man, and I'm very scared of him. Okay. Griggs noticed a creepy man in the cemetery during a heavy tornado. He was ignoring the rain, just walked purpose through the graveyard. I think he was planning to attack somebody, then he just hurried off of it. It's some kind of serial killer. Or just, you know, the groundskeeper. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. It's a possibility. Yeah, we aren't going to have the people to do that, unfortunately.
311B in progress.
Street workout playground. 3 plant workers were drinking beer on the bench and started harassing a group of young sportsmen who were talking at the bar. Men started calling the athletes fags and laughed at them and then threw one into an empty bench. At first, the athletes were ignoring the bullies, but their patience was at an end. One of them grabbed a beer tap and broke the plant worker's head open with a single blow. 7 athletes then rallied together and started beating up the remaining men. Okay. One at a time here. So, I suspect this is going to be fraudulent, so we're just going to send a couple.
1011B complete.
Offender escaped. Okay. David's escape from the Diamond Dogs prison was over a year in planning. The prison is an imperial fortress, so they concocted a devious plan and poisoned David's mother, who he despised. Spent several months in the hospital dying from gastric bleeding, and David easily won the right to visit his mother. Then after her death, he was allowed to the gravesite visitation for a month. David displayed exemplary behavior, and because of these visits always went so smoothly, the number of guards accompanying him was reduced from 8 to 2, and additional police presence was deemed unnecessary. It's exactly what they were waiting for. The cemetery where David's mother was buried is surrounded by 2 very high fences. The gravesite itself is physically impossible to approach by car, as the way to the grave is too narrow. Miss Douglas was buried a good 10-minute walk from the cemetery entrance, so David's escape was going to be risky. He decided Keister would enter the graveyard on a motorcycle carrying a gun and a silencer and get the job done quick. They hoped the guards wouldn't have time to react and wouldn't notice the suspicious sound of a approaching motorcycle. Keister would rush them at full speed, shoot them before they had a chance to recover from the surprise. But as far as I know, he only managed to shoot one of them, so he had to improvise, but I don't know the details. Either way, he overwhelmed the guards and got David out of there to safety. David Douglas, former director of the Scottish Theatre, escaped from Diamond Dog prison after the aid of an accomplice, fellow gang member Keister Athol. Okay, An investigation. Oh, an investigation. Wow, that was easy. We're gonna have to deploy a lot for next shift. Local grave digger. Yep.
Officer on scene.
Place has turned into a real battle. More workers joined in to help with their friends from the factory, and the fight has expanded to involve several dozen people. Find someone still on their feet and knock them on their ass. Fight grinds to a halt and 2 athletes approach the police. The fuck you think you're doing here? We got this, we don't need you. 2 men look quite menacing, armed with a brick and ironwork. Are we worried about any of these guys skipping shift? Actually, we are with Oshiro. Fucking piece of shit. Drunk people are more attractive. Women's clinic requires mayor's protection from pro-life activists. Reclusive millionaire, but bequeathed fortune to city. Mr. Boyd, why did you send the police to the small business protest? Public safety. Could have been armed men among the protesters. Do you think the peaceful demonstration put the people's safety at risk? I mean, it's possible. Such situations is always better to be safe than suffer the consequences. Are you or your family personally involved in any kind of business? No. I've always had civil hard workers, never climbed the ladder. Did you have some kind of interest in suppressing the protest? Nope. For me, police chief, it's always better if everything goes nice and smoothly without any trouble. Did you give orders to suppress the protest by force? Blame the Mafia. One of our individuals guilty of starting the riot came to us and admitted that he was ordered by the Mafia. Which is what we set it up for. What we paid the fucking money to do. Mafia sabotage people protest. City Hall cuts Broadville asylum funding. Man in open field frightened to death by scarecrow. So we lost a day. Is that how that worked? I think we just lost a day. Yeah, that's fucking shitty.
Night testing in progress.
Okay. Well, we don't need to request any more SWAT upgrades, so I guess we just do this. And then we say cool. Maskman entered with automatic weapons entering the bank. They fired a few shots in the air and demanded the manager open the vault, and everyone else lay in nervous silence on the floor. One of the guards drew his service weapon, but he didn't have a chance. Robert shot him right in the stomach. Alright, well. Damn, that fucking sucks. Hopefully we don't miss our opportunity to catch people as a result of that. Fully armed gunmen attacked an armored truck. Several witnesses heard an explosion and saw it. Well, can't do anything about that if they got deployed, so... The armored truck is technically worth less than the bank.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hot Spot.
Send them all in. Something going on at Atticus Tower at 1319.
412A in progress.
Jose Sugg called the station and muttered his sad story through streaming tears. I was trying to get to know a pretty girl. I gave her the coolest compliment in the world. Then she went crazy and beat me so bad she mangled me and ruined my perfect face. Promoted to tank. Alright.
311B in progress.
24 scientists who recently lost their jobs decided to stage a protest march in the city center. The participants marched peacefully along the side of the road. But then some of the religious fanatics came out and started throwing stones at them, tearing their clothes, and generally humiliating them. Massive brawl broke out and several people are already injured. Yep, that takes precedence over the assault. And we wouldn't be able to respond to it anyway. The guy offered the girl a quickie, and she merely slapped him across the face. Paddy wagon. 1, 2, 4, 5.
412A in progress.
Call just came in from the security therapist, Alan Graham. She reports that Dr. Graham was attacked by a patient during an otherwise normal session. Patient pinned him down on the ground and is slapping him in the face. That is the Mafia thing, so we're not worried about that.
11 in progress.
Quite a common acquaintance told me that you're a reasonable man who can be relied on for help. I need to load 4 luxury cars at a port, and to be frank, they're stolen. Last time my boys got picked up, and a very big player didn't get his shipment. This time I want to go as smoothly as possible. Abuse of emergency services. Once again, retiree Yang Yang who complained to the police that a local restaurant is preparing its dishes incorrectly. They don't advertise their portions and mix up their ingredients. I've warned her a dozen times that this isn't a police matter, but she keeps calling and bothering our personnel. Okay, so this is not that we respond to it, but that she is abusing services. Okay.
412A.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
In progress.
Passerby noticed a suspicious black man sitting in a van next to a little girl. I'm afraid to imagine a monster. Okay. Okay, let's just constantly fucking get on the black people, apparently.
311 in progress.
Fucking 80s, man.
Complete.
And it turns out to be the girl's adoptive father. Okay. Another massive fight. Some guy tried to sneak into the doctor's office without waiting his turn. A few people who were waiting in line decided to punish the bastard, and a fight started up. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boom? Yeah, we'll do that. Picture show theater. Another fucking riot. At its premiere, the rules of the game was so outraged that the French film that they broke their chairs in the hall and now are threatening to set fire to the cinema. The perplexed theater director locked himself in his office and called the police to report the incident. Well, I want to see what the report is on the other riot first.
We've got a situation here.
There are men and women fighting along a narrow hallway, and they're starting to pick up chairs. Grab the loudest person in the crowd and harass them.
Complete.
He only kills billionaires, presumably. I need to do this quick. Smoke is rising in apartment building. The residents are running out into the streets. Some say that suspicious foreigners live in the apartment and explosions came from. Fuck. Didn't get to it. Yep. I did actually want to deploy there, but it's awkward timing. Okay, he didn't drive a car up there. It said specifically that they couldn't use a car. So. Something like this, then. Mr. Athol, former military, former stuntman, former actor at the Scottish Theatre.
Officer on scene.
Apartment is filled with smoke and walls covered in soot. In the center of the room stands a man in a dirty white coat, and around him are scattered odd pieces of complicated device. Seeing the police, the man begins to explain incoherently that he's almost finished his work on the elixir of youth and he just needs a little more time. Isn't there a pause button? I don't think so. Not by default. Like, you need to hit something to pause the game. So it's just awkward timing. Moray Jockey.
Mr. Boyd, Kevin Paulson is here. He wants to talk.
Kevin Paulson. Tell him to fuck off. Jack Boyd, super cop.
Why the $500,000, Jack? Why?
Lana, what happened?
Does this sum have some kind of special meaning?
Lana, I don't know who told you about the $500,000, but it's much more complicated than you think.
Oh, it's complicated, all right. It took me an hour to go over all the documents. There's even a few pictures and a lot of answers. Except for one thing. Why $500,000?
What documents? How did you get them? What's in them?
I think you know very well what's in them, and the one who sent them is obviously a big fan of your criminal talents. He even has a cute name for you, Cupcake.
Remember when you told me how you're always surrounded by old men? I'm the opposite. I'm surrounded by children, 9-year-old boys. From their first day of work, they gather in the smoking lounge, telling jokes about what they'll do when they loot their first million. But it's more than just innocent jokes. It's quickly becoming a reality. They themselves are surprised how quickly everything happens. They buy their own houses, they buy a car, they get promoted. The first million is soon followed by a second, a third, a fifth. Like children, they have no idea what they're getting into. But I'm not like that, Lana. I'm not like them.
You're saying you're not like them because you're only stealing $500,000?
Stealing,
Only men-
quote
You know,
unquote.
Jack, I'm done worrying about people not taking me seriously. They'll know I mean business when my first act as public prosecutor is throwing the city's former police chief in prison.
Lana, you can't just read over some papers like this and... I told you not to let him in!
I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd. I tried to stop him, but you...
Lana, we need to talk.
Jack, you're so amazingly patient with people. After all the confusion over the past months, all the humiliations, it's really quite admirable. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. I gotta admit, I'm not nearly so patient.
Send someone in here, now!
I've been thinking, Jack. When I take your place, I'll have a lot of opportunities. For example, I could arrest you. You know it wouldn't be hard to find a reason. You obviously don't want that, right? I don't want that either. Given your reputation, arresting you would make me very unpopular. And if we both don't want that, let's find a way out. My suggestion is you retire tomorrow, and I promise I'll let you leave in peace. I swear, Jack, if you...
Mr. Boyd, there's a call on line 2. Mr. Boyd, you really have to take this call.
Boyd!
Jack, it's me.
Laura,
Jack, I don't know what you wanted to say to me, but please, just say it. Jack, I'm hanging up the phone.
Laura, you... Oh my God, Laura. Hey, you remember years ago? So many years I've lost track, but do you remember when Dylan was down with the chicken pox and he couldn't sleep? We kept him occupied until he passed out, and then we went downstairs, sat on the floor, opened a bottle of wine. Who could blame us? Well, we sat on the floor and opened our bills and joked about how poor we were. Remember? And then I jokingly asked if I'd be your hero if I made $1 million. And you sat there lost in thought like you needed to seriously think about the answer. You were quiet for a while, and then you laughed and said that I'd be your hero even if I only made $500,000. Do you remember, Laura?
Jack,
Do you remember?
Honestly, Jack, no, I don't remember.
You don't remember? But that was...
Jack, you've been chasing me down for so long to talk with me. For this? That's all you wanted to tell me?
How can you not remember? It's important, Laura. It's important.
Goodbye, Jack. Mr. Boyd, are you all right?
Well, time to lose another 30 days and lose all of those people that I was trying to track and get prosecuted, right?
Mr. Boyd?
Oh, I can rotate. Okay. I wasn't paying attention enough. Okay. Oh, you need to have the right color also, huh? Didn't play a lot of Dr. Mario, as you might imagine. Okay. So... Okay. Okay. I see. Time to get into hard mode, huh? Day 154. Yep. So, we might be going back some.
Yes, you caught me again. And again, I promise this is the last time. And now you say again that I've said it all before, but I'm...
Jack Boyd is awake.
Jack Boyd? He opened his eyes? He can talk?
Talking? Yes. More like yelling, trying to escape from his room, brawling with the nurses.
Good heavens. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Jack! Lord, were you already discharged from the hospital? I thought you might be down a couple of days or even...
Emma, get me the mayor. Emma, please call the mayor of Freeburg, Stuart Rogers.
"3114. Connect. It's urgent."
This is Jack Boyd.
Jack, you've got to take better care of yourself. How's your...
I'm Freeburg's police chief. I came to work. Stop trying to get in my way.
Someone causing you trouble? We just wanted to make sure somebody was holding down the fort while you were recovering. But don't worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything tomorrow morning. You won't be running into Paulson again.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I'm glad we understand each other. Tell Martin Stett to call me.
What? You don't know? Lieutenant Stett went missing about 2 weeks ago.
Fuck my life.
Freeburg's mayoral election is just a play with a predictable ending. But I'll take my place on the stage, if only to show them that the people will find a way to support those who want change, even in a city where everything is controlled by a corrupt mayor. The crooks can falsify the voting results, they can arrest us and beat us, but they cannot silence us. And today, for the first time in many years, we have a chance to make them fear us.
While acknowledging that he himself is the mysterious Robespierre, Eugene Chaffee has also promised that he will accept any punishment for the crimes committed by him and his supporters for minor offenses and street hooliganism. But, in his words, not before the city authorities are held responsible for the dead in our streets and the millions they've stolen. Eugene Chaffee went on to say that this is the worst time
Didn't come into work today. Didn't come into work today. Didn't come into work today. Literally everyone. Uh... 24 days. It marks the beginning of a great political struggle here in Freeburg. The people, including the cops, will have to decide who to support. Some will remain loyal to Mayor Rogers, but Robespierre already has a following of his own. Don't expect officers from both camps to work effectively together if you send them out on assignments. Unfortunately, we can't ask our employees outright what their political views are, but maybe there's another way to get this information. I mean, the other thing we can do is send people to shift B, since we aren't going to be able to get them for this shift, and then we can reassign them from there. Store started complaining to Kurt that there were too many mirrors in the furniture. He was behaving inappropriately, insisted on arguing. Finally lost his temper. He pushed a weapon over and started pounding on all the mirrors with his bare hands, screaming, "How can the mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?" This is relatively loud. Heldon complained about a suspicious man who squeezed in beside me next to the yogurt and started acting very strange. I pushed him away, ran to the cashier, and demanded the phone. Come arrest this scoundrel immediately. Wrong place. Okay. Recent crime wave has press talking. Now we can point to is a lot of crappy police work. Some of it meant to talk to the journalists. Other than the rank and file officers assure Freeburg there's no need to worry. Okay. I mean, today we're not going to get much done. Philosophy professor Mr. Zemetsky had forgotten his glasses. He was only trying to make out the price tags on the yogurt. So what we're going to do is we're going to send him to the motel, because I suspect that he's just hiding out. He's not actually missing. Well, like, presumably you would read that earlier and be like, well, I can't have everyone go, so we'll just have to have tired people. Tired people is better than no one. Ran over an elderly man who was running across the road in the wrong place. Driver pulled back, stopped for a minute, and then sped away at full speed. Yep, can't do anything. I mean, I can't really do a lot about this. The fuck?
211 in progress. 10 in progress.
Painting graffiti on the walls of her house, tried to grab them, scuffed, but then actually squirmed away from me and ran, the little bastard. Old man in stinking rags, sitting and playing the accordion, strange song. Let the pedestrians run clumsily across the puddles and let the water flow like a river down the pavement. Security at the skyscraper said, "We're not going to touch the sky with a 10-foot stick." Countryside. Yeah, we're getting nothing done on this.
210 complete. In progress.
Okay. Can't do anything yet. Pagan ritual. One wheels dealership. Okay. Large supply of tobacco, the keystone of big business, but now the porters decided to go on strike. They're demanding a wage increase, but won't bow to dirty blackmail. Please send me stronger men to prove that, or to help move boxes. We're old school friends, and you know I always repay my debts. I'll reward your men well. Can't do that. Sorry.
311B in progress.
Manager of the stadium reports the football match has been ended with a clash between fans. The winners are taunting the rivals, and losers didn't take it well. They start tearing up the arena, and a small riot has erupted. About 30 people are involved. Jack, your overall state of health is very worrying. You need to cut down on your hours as soon as possible. Juan Camillo Salas is an experienced smuggler, very capable of obtaining and smuggling any sort of goods across the Peruvian border. He always comes armed and believes that's all the protection he needs. Station Chief is a morphine junkie, and Juan Salas is more than happy to fill his need in exchange for a blind eye he takes to Salas' other business. He gives him morphine, he doesn't give him cash. I imagine. Pieces of stolen cars are hidden inside the truck's cargo container. Here's are loaded onto the train cars directly from the truck. Watches while the weight is recorded and the container is sealed. For every service, Silas always pays cash, so that. Yeah. Nothing we can really do about that. Okay. Clear debt. See, some of the people are literally just don't exist anymore. Mayor Rogers displeased with police department. Rogers is responsible for Freeburg PD police breakdown. Yeah, of course, City Hall hates us and freezes to death waiting to enter for a burger store. Mm-hmm. Nope. Yes. 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 Give a stripe to... Kanoshiro has been a pile of shit lately. Unfortunately, we might need him. Supervisors were unhappy with the efficiency we're cutting the department's budget. Okay. Mm-hmm. Past days parked, reserved space parking allowed. Come down and fix this problem right now. Okay, whatever. It's on them. Mole is not here. It's not a small but my deputy Paul Higgins has under some papers that could potentially hurt my career. He's threatening to go public in the coming days. Apparently, he expects me to turn myself in. It's no trouble for me to deal with this traitor, but I need to buy some time. Could you please send some officers over to his office, act like performing a service, maybe even pretend to arrest me? The Higgins will think that the issue is solved and let down his sword, and I'll stab him in the spine. Yeah, no. Let's see. Alright, Shift A is kind of hurting. So we're gonna shift you over to Shift A. Yeah. Investigations. Gangs. Okay, Hunter is not the one with Case and Armstrong and the rest of them. So we want Davenport, Boos, Skinner, I guess. Okay. And then Pongungstas start to investigate. Easley and Johnson.
412 progress.
With friends Mr. Casey and Mr. Paravolov were arguing about how to cook the best barbecue. In the end, Mr. Paravolov grabbed a butcher's knife and stabbed Mr. Casey in the stomach. The man's wife phoned the police after she locked herself in her room, fearing for her life. Okay. Arranged for a holiday for the faithful of our city of popular Christian music to attract young people. I invited a Christian rock group, the Freeburg Brothers of Christ. It's supposed to be a perfect role model for young people around the world. At first, everything went fine. They came and behaved nicely, as befits humble men, singing praise to the Lord. But on the day of the concert, it came out that their lead singer overdosed on cocaine and whiskey, while the other members of the group were staging an orgy with male prostitutes. I canceled the concert and demanded that the musicians return their fee, but they told me to go to hell. Lord wants you to deal with these worthless hypocrites. Let them know that we don't suffer false prophets lightly. It says the drug-dealing priest that told me to vivisect a man. Halloween. Halloween is a pagan celebration passed down to great ancestors. It's painful to watch it being transformed into a commercial circus. While our theater was open, we tried to carry on with the true values of the ancient tribes through our productions. During Halloween, we four gathered, donned red raven costumes, and inherited from our fair fathers and smoked magic powder that we bought from the bishop. Do you know he's also a pagan? We're gonna hold off on that for now. An inebriated man decided to teach his young son a lesson right there in the pizzeria. He pulled down the boy's pants and started spanking him in the pizza peel, or begging him with a pizza peel, shouting, "I told you not to slurp and don't talk back, you bastard." Okay.
In progress.
Alarm went off at the premium liquor store. Eyewitnesses report that a truck crashed through the back gate of their warehouse. People wearing hoods stormed the area and are quickly loading boxes and bottles into the truck. Yeah, and that the gift department at the mall was selling counterfeit money, 50s and 100s, hanging from the window. It's not real. Okay, good. There's a corner monument got a surprise day. A naked woman walked up and began posing next to the monument. Several people tried to cover her with their coats, but she shoved them away and ran away from everyone, laughing loudly. The eyewitnesses who called it in said she was obviously under some kind of substance. A noisy crowd is gathered outside City Hall demanding the legalization of soft drugs in Freeburg. Thought cures cancer. As they defiantly smoke joints. Everyone was displaying gift cards designed to resemble dollars, and they were clearly marked not for legal tender.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Softball.
No. Just gotta get in there. Marissa Brown reports that she heard several shots ring out from a nearby window, followed by a man shouting, "Shut up, everyone," or "Shut up," every night. The same thing, freaking junkies. Excuse me. Marissa explained that her neighbor is a former soldier who often quarrels with young people who spend the evenings hanging around the apartment courtyard. Okay. Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Check that out. Last year we missed our traditional ritual because David Douglas, director and part-time theater accountant, went to jail for financial fraud. So this year we decided to fight back like we should have done years ago. Kill Bogus Sahak, that greedy Halloween souvenir hawker who is correcting the minds of our youth, and set his lifeless head on a machine of the gods. Well, fuck. Of course, it wouldn't be possible to perform our celebration in one of our homes. There's too much smoke, and the neighbors would have complained. So we rented the apartment for the day. Every year, a different one. Machine of the Gods is a great invention by our leader, Moray Chalky. Something like a metal water pipe, to which 4 tubes are attached. Murray would pour magic powder into the machine, followed by his own magic or special magic liquid, and throw in a lit match. Then we would sit in a circle and inhale the smoke through a tube. This looks like he's going nuts. Or like after the fact. They look like they're running away.
We've got a situation here.
When she spotted the police, the naked woman ran up to an officer, kissed him on the lips, and snatched his service weapon. Okay. Seems like the last thing. Hopefully it is. Got 3 new frames. Open investigation. Okay, I think this is at the scales then. Watch as while the weight is recorded and the container is sealed. Okay. They were loaded directly. The pieces of the stolen car are hidden inside the truck's cargo container. Right. Containers are loaded onto the train cars directly from the truck. Station chief is a morphine junkie. Yeah, okay. Pieces of the stolen car hidden inside the truck's cargo container. Containers are loaded onto the train cars directly from the truck. Okay. So, this... that, something like that. Because you have to pay him off unless you do that. Because those are the sealed ones that go on the cargo train. Something like that. Okay, so we need to make sure Mole is on tomorrow. So as much as I'd like to finish this up, I might have to do one more session of this. I'm getting considerably tired, and I probably need to wake up somewhat early today. I will do probably one more day, though, because I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting about which detectives I need and stuff like that.
510 complete.
Our monument turns into giant icicle. Bodybuilding competition at the Sand Ice Arena. Farmer confuses kite with UFO. City Hill still hates her guts. Who would have thought? Holman didn't come into work. Cosima didn't come into work. Traber come into work today. Strong didn't come into work today. Okay. Yes, but coming tomorrow. I love how they say didn't come into work when what they mean is they quit. Which is what they should be saying. Happy with the efficient of cutting the budget. Yeah, whatever. You're cutting the budget. Nobody gives a shit. Elmo Station. Yep. That's about right.
414 in progress.
There's not the information. It's highly classified. 6 months ago, terrorists simultaneously launched 3 satellites and, according to our intelligence, transmitted some kind of hypersensitive radiation waves. Designed to zap our willpower, we've quickly developed a cure which should improve the mental strength of our citizens, especially military and police forces. We're conducting clinical studies and we need 4 of your employees to try our latest version of the drug. Between us, the men are running a great risk. So our experiments on rats were not entirely successful, but at $80,000, we're willing to take the chance, right?
113B in progress. 1011B in progress.
Reporting an explosion near the entrance of a coffee shop. Deafening bags coming from outside. I don't think they're going to be bombs, but whatever. We'll send it. Stole a fire engine and are now riding through the city, sirens blazing, spraying pedestrians with a fire hose. Company Flutie Fanny, which produces diapers and toys, put on a presentation about their new products. They invited 2 clowns to entertain the young mothers and their children. The kids didn't like the clowns, and some began to cry, and one of the clowns lashed out at the audience, shouting, "God, they could just plug that child, they can't stand it, it's like he's scraping my ears from the inside." The second clown just silently watched everything, then pulled a World War II gun out of his bag and aimed it at the crowd. He asked his friend in a gravelly voice, "Nikolai, do you want me to kill? Or who do you want me to kill? Just point at them with your finger, and I'll put the devil down." Later, it would become known that these clowns were 2 former psychiatric patients who had been successfully treated and released. Well.
414.
Mr. Foreman called in to report the theft of his car. I was at the intersection and 2 men with pistols approached and told me to get out of my car, and I didn't argue. Can't figure out what they wanted with the old bucket of bolts.
progress. 113 feet complete.
The girls refused to compromise over the last pair of designer shoes and began to tear out each other's hair. The guard called to the police and said that he couldn't intervene. I'm still suffering injuries from the last time this happened. This is not the type of thing you call SWAT for. Fucking 3 people can get carjacker. Useless.
Progress.
Truck pusher working out of the parking lot near his home. He's in there every day. He comes rumbling up on his moped selling drugs to local school children. I'm pretty sure he's giving them, like, candy or something, but whatever. Well, Shiro and Forbes deal with it.
1111 in progress.
Ultimately, a man caught sight of a man using drugs. I saw him take a packet of white powder from his pocket. He sprinkled it on a donut and ate the monstrosity right in front of the children.
Got a situation here.
There, a man sitting on a moped handing the a package to passenger in the car. Then they move off in different directions. Block the moped.
1111.
Found weed. I don't expect that to pan out.
In progress.
Anonymous tip: a large section of contraband tobacco is being unloaded at the port. Drug eater is just a man who likes to put his own sugar on his donuts. My mom makes the best powdered sugar in the world. Here, try some. Okay, so smuggling's typically good, I think, because normally if smuggling succeeds, you get something to sell. Something like that, I guess. Okay. Then we'd sip, circle, and hail through tube. This time we rented an apartment with an old 5-story building. There's almost nobody living there, so we didn't expect any trouble. The older told us that the correct door was decorated with bats made of cardboard. We arrived, got dressed, assembled the machine. The machine, planted the head on top, and started to smoke. Thing was going according to plan, but then the machine began to smoke more than usual. David suddenly got angry, grabbed his sword, and struck the machine. Okay, so it wasn't a pipe, but anyway, all the rest was a blur. There was an explosion, fire, smoke, and we ran away in a panic. David was burned alive in the apartment. Yeah, so that's them putting on the clothes. That's not what it was. It was the red robes. Open investigation. Okay. There's the heroin. There we go. Experienced smuggler. Takes the little dog to appointments at the vet. Was an apartment in the city center. Alright. Only a story on how our utility companies paint over graffiti. The city's other efforts for fighting good and clean Freeburg. A couple of uniformed officers. Yeah, sure. Okay. Should have waited for this to resolve.
1110 complete.
Ooh, nothing with the smuggling. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Wrong place. I believe it was Hunter.
My God, Mr. Boyd, there's no tea in the whole house. We've looked everywhere. I could bring you a nice box of Japanese tea. I think you'd fall in love.
Let's get this over with. The people on the street are freezing by now.
Oh, yes. I do apologize for the ill-mannered crowd. A man in my position deals with a lot of unpleasantness.
Mr. Boyd, don't you wonder why Mayor Rogers so easily gave you your job back?
I promised the doctors I'd think less.
Funny. The people of this city are in the opposite situation. They've begun to use their heads for the first time in many years. They've learned to argue. But of course they can't agree on anything. Does Freeburg need change? Should the old guard give way to a new generation of politicians? Would I make a good mayor? Was Stuart Rogers a bad mayor? All these arguments reek of naivete, but let's be charitable. Many of them are allowing themselves to doubt for the first time. What's important is this. In times when the people cannot reach an accord, what they need is something to unite them. And one of those things is their undying love for their chief of police. People can support me or hate me, can defend Rogers or demand his resignation, but they remain sure of one thing. Their police chief is a saint. Their police chief won't let the city fall to chaos. And despite everything, the events of recent months have only improved your reputation, Mr. Boyd. The people have been touched by your recovery from that coma, your eagerness to return again and again to your post, to serve the city. And of course, Stuart Rogers, whose position is seriously shaken, wishes to take advantage of you.
Rogers understands that he won't survive this fight. He just wasn't prepared for it. So he's planned a major security operation. He intends to storm Eugene's house, burn everything to the ground so the pillar of smoke can be seen from anywhere in the city. He wants you to personally lead the assault. He'll tell the reporters that Eugene Chaffee was behind a series of terrorist attacks across the city. When he offered armed resistance during his arrest, Eugene was shot and killed.
What are you gonna do about it?
What should I do? Respond in kind, of course.
What, you're gonna storm City Hall?
Don't have the stomach for it, Mr. Boyd? You do understand what my gratitude would mean. Enough money to last you the rest of your life.
My job. I want to keep my job. Not 1 year, not 5 years, but until I decide it's time to leave.
I told you, Eugene, he's no longer interested in money.
Oh, I'll take the money, too. It'll be nice to get a bonus when you extend my contract.
You ask for too much, Mr. Boyd.
Oh, really?
I'll visit you in a few days, Mr. Boyd. Gather your strength. You forgot them in my car the last time we met.
Thanks, but I gave them up. Might add a few years to my life.
And one more thing. I wanted you to hear this from me, not the newspapers. Consider it a gift.
Damn. So I'm not gonna get that. Milk factory buys milk from farmers at subsidized rate. Municipality to save on snow removal. Sheeting gallery owner nearly shot by drunk clientele. Okay, I already heard that one. Old people protest due to the difficult economic situation. We've had to undertake a series of pension cuts as a cost savings measure. We can't run the city into the ground for some lazy old people who can't take care of themselves. Every day, dozens of retirees come to us threatening to rage or protest. A large gathering of elderly people is a serious situation. After all, we're talking about people in poor health. We can't let that happen, so those activists need to be sent home, or sent packing to their vacation homes. The use of force is sanctioned if required. Rogers is going to a friend of the city's birthday party. Okay, so we have to deploy. Man tried to get away without paying the tax dodger, decided to teach man a lesson. According to the eyewitness, the driver grabbed the guy by the collar and pulled out of the car and beat his ass. Decorated veteran Andy Castro dragged his son out of the school and onto the street and began to publicly punish him for secretly smoking. He beat the boy with a belt until he bled, knocked to the ground and put his knee on the boy's chest and force-fed him a carton of cigarettes. Principal of the school called the incident. The man has lost his mind in the war and it's looking like he might kill the boy. The PE teacher tried to intervene, but the man pulled out a gun and made it clear that he didn't need any help parenting.
412A.
Nice. to crack this quick. My deputy Paul Huggins says there are some papers that could potentially hurt my canary security and go public in the coming days. Apparently expects me to turn myself in. Yeah, same thing he said before. Therefore, my skyscraper was open to the public recently become a favorite spot to commit suicide. Already 3 people have jumped out. These incidents are ruining my police reputation, and it's doubly difficult to clean the brains off our expensive Spanish paving stones. Please send over a trained officer and teach my guys to spot potential suicides among our visitors and how to negotiate with these nutcases. Okay. Sounds reasonable. Okay, abduction. Orson Sands kidnapped businessman Timothy Wayne. Runs a protection racket in Freeburg. It solves all sorts of problems for the Sand family. No restaurant in the city does business without him knowing about it. Timothy Wayne runs the Hell on Wheels car dealership. He doesn't like to waste away in the bank office and prefers to meet clients and make sales in the showroom. Wayne secretly began work with Varga shortly before he came to town. Or after he came to town. Sand found out about it and decided to make a vivid example of Timothy Wayne in case anyone else had any ideas about going against the family. Orson Sand and 2 accomplices drove the held red emergency vehicle. Orson Sand doesn't use weapons. He's a very athletic man. He can do whatever he needs to with his bare hands. Shoes were found on the sidewalk near the showroom entrance. Apparently he resisted the kidnappers, or when the kidnappers dragged him to the car. Something like that. Animal abuse. Several people in apartment complex have recorded the cats have gone missing in the stairwell. Carrie Martin ordering the 3 missing cats just called in again to complain. This is the 7th time this month when we know there's some kind of crazy witch on the 2nd floor kidnapping poor animals, doing terrible things. Please, we have to stop her. I see. So he died. Great. Man running down the street with a syringe, pricking everybody, cleaning the technical days. Okay, whatever. Really? 2 of you can't deal with that? Okay.
S10A in progress.
Spanish accent just called in, threatening to blow up the bridge unless we were police or release a group of freedom fighters calling his brothers. Cats were in the cellar, kind of what I expected.
Officer on scene.
Man chased a girl into a telephone booth. She's holding the door closed, but the man has pushed his syringe-wielding arm in the booth. Yep, not enough people. Actors started quarreling with the director during a rehearsal. You have to cut off my head before he put me in this ridiculous hat. The director wouldn't give up and a fight broke out after the actor's colleague stood up for him. Hold off on that for a moment. Okay. Jackie swore an oath, blah, blah, blah. Open investigation. So yeah, more smoke than they expected, so they break it using a sword, actually. They do that. Okay, part of this might be, what do you... So, it might be like, you're trying to do this from your perspective, not what they see. So, like, this is probably wrong. Like, what actually happened. Something like this. This needs to be a sword. But then they put that on... This will be the constructing. That's the smoke. They'll be breathing in the smoke, maybe, and then they smash it, and then something will be here. Something like that. Labor unit requires 5, so yeah, we can't do this.
I was trying to raise TN1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Send everyone. Last mission of the day. I pushed forward today because we needed to still capture that one guy. So, if you're wondering why I didn't stop on the last day. Again, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're forgetting things and trying to remember when you're coming back to the game.
311 complete.
Energy vampires do exist. Unlicensed prices Devoke. Schoolgirl falls through the ice and survives. City Hall still pissed off. Just continue to bleed cops, I take it. Yeah, always cutting the part and budget, whatever.
911 in progress. 210 in progress.
I'm not too worried about it right now, because I'm just checking stuff out. Customer 517 is spreading his filth on the rear seat, so women offered him some money, and he started barking at her. Bit her hand multiple times. As we rest away, this land-eyed bastard sold gold cigarette case I got from my grandfather. Yeah, whatever. So now I'm just getting information, like what happens when you do this thing. But I don't think we're gonna finish this day.
710 in progress.
Slipped into the VIP area and took a hooker stripper hostage. Stanley left his cigarette case in the restaurant booth. Yeah, that's what I figured.
210 complete.
Should have seen the happy face of that idiot Higgins when your guy sat me in the police car. You won't be smiling for long. As when you got a bit of cash for you for a retirement party, of course, you can always count on me and help if you need it. Okay. Does that mean that I have him now? Political views. You'll know the political preferences of the candidates for positions in your department. No urgent tasks from City Hall. The union can protect you from urgent City Hall assignments which are personal or illegal in nature. You'll no longer be disturbed by such calls. Dismiss anyone you want. Okay. Oh wow, that day went super fucking fast. 100% for misbehaving at school. She made a boy dressed in a tutu, wig, lingerie, and women's shoes and led him through the supermarket. The cashier called the police saying there's a mother leading her son through. They start telling everyone to look and scolding the boy. Now he knows what it feels like. It's crazy. The woman should be allowed to be a mother. So I'm being on the beach, saw a man tie a couple of bricks around his neck and throw himself into the water. Hurry. No one's no one here. We don't know how to swim. Okay.
Officer on scene.
Tripper is on her knees. Standing beside her is a woman with a knife. She slowly traces the blade across the body of Stripper's cheek and then begins shouting, "I will cleanse you of your sin." Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it here, because I actually went through most of this day and I didn't want. Anyway, we'll be cleaning this up the next couple days. I mentioned that I was going to try to get to Crypt Master today. Well, this stream, but I'm tired. I really just don't have the energy to work out like any complex puzzles or anything.